Hi, we from class ECW445 want to explain about solid waste issue that be happen in our global right now. Introduction. Solid waste are all the discarded that produced by various activity of the society like municipal, industrial, and agricultural activity. Waste can be categorized based on material such as plastic, paper, glass, metal, and organic waste. One of the types of solid waste that perhaps the faster growing component in many developed countries is electronic waste or e-waste, which include discarded computer equipment, television, and a variety of other electronic devices. The Johannesburg World Summit on Sustainable Development 2002 focused on initiatives to accelerate the shift to sustainable consumption, production, and the reduction of resources degradation. Solid waste must be managed systematically to ensure environmental best practice. As solid waste management as a critical aspect of environmental hygiene, it must be incorporated into environmental planning.
According to Malaysian state official, in 2018, more than 250 shipping containers of plastic waste were imported illegally to Malaysia from many countries, including the UK. We already simply generate too much waste ourselves, while the imported waste just exacerbate problems, and thus the landfill in Malaysia are nearly full. The issue of limited landfills available in Malaysia has created plenty difficulties to local and federal government to dispose the solid waste generated. Single-use plastic or disposable plastic, which are both hazardous and non-biodegradable, have become a global issue. Globally, plastic production was estimated to be 380 million tons in 2018. Since 1950 to 2018, about 6.3 billion tons of plastic have been produced worldwide. Only 9% of the generated plastic waste is recycled, the 14% collected for recycling, while the rest reaches the ocean annually. These items are things like plastic bag, coffee cup, plastic straw, and plastic water bottle. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Ministry of Health has reported that the clinical waste in Malaysia has increased by 27% by weight. The increase is mainly attributed to the increased usage of disposable gloves, face masks, and personal protective equipment (PPE) by the medical staff. According to WHO, healthcare waste contain potentially harmful microorganisms that can easily infect anyone if it not handled and disposed in a proper way. Although Denmark is known as one of the countries in the world with the highest food wastage, with at least 660 kg of food per person is wasted, however, it is still managed to be crowned as the European champion in food waste reduction, as the food waste was reduced by 25%. Meanwhile, in the United Kingdom, each person wastes 560 kg of food per person, but then they only managed to reduce the food waste by 21%. The United States is the largest producer of municipal solid waste in the world with approximately 260 million metric tons of garbage in 2017. The average United States civilian produced 2.6 kg of municipal solid waste daily, the highest per capita waste generation in the world. This is caused by the overpopulation, urbanization, and the growing technology.
Because of the chemical additives used during plastic production, single-use plastic have potentially harmful effects not only for human health but indeed harm to the animal too.
For many animal species, plastic waste is simply a nightmare, and they often mistake plastic bags for food. The research expedition in Costa Rica found there was a plastic drinking straw inside a sea turtle's nostril.
The treatment and disposal of medical waste release toxic pollutants that will cause to health risks for humans and harm to the ecosystem. The food waste that end up in the landfills will produce a methane gas that will heat up the earth, causing a global warming. The highest municipal solid waste will change properties of soil, air, and water that will cause a pollution. It actually takes many years to decompose, and if being burned, it will cause air pollution that will affect the human health.
To safely dispose these, make sure double pack them and make sure both packs are tightly closed with a knot or a twist tie. Never put any home healthcare waste in the recycling bin. These items are not recyclable. Always place discarded sharps and human blood waste in an approved biohazard container. By changing food waste habit, first, just be conscious of it. Because once you understand what's happening, you can make the conscious decisions to make something about it. In this case, it's simple. Don't throw out good food. You know when your parents tell you to finish your food? That was good advice. But if you can't, keep your leftover and eat them. Maybe you get tired of eating the same thing, but it can save our weight. By the way, if you eat leftover, you can buy less food because you won't be needing that much. If you do have food you need to throw out because it's really unsafe to consume, compost. Compost doesn't reduce food waste, but it can help our environment. Here are 5 easy steps that you can follow.
As conclusion, it's up to us to ensure that we mitigate our impact on environment as much as possible to allow for continued development for future generations. Here, I want to recommend everyone in the society to take a part, a responsibility in reduce the amount of solid waste around our environment by applying the concept of 3R: reuse, reduce, and recycle. That's very easy to be done and understanding in our daily life. Remember, you do not need superpower to become a hero, but you can be a hero by just save our home, which Earth.